is 3:38 p.m. and it's Monday, April 28th, 2025. Councilors, have you had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes.
Is there a motion for approval?
I move for approval of the minutes of April 14th, 2025.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The minutes from the last meeting have passed. Well, has passed. Councilors, do you have any items you'd like to place on consent?
Yes.
Councilor Abbott.
Yes, I would like to place items 4 and 5 on page 1, items 6 and 7 on page 2, and item 9 on page 3.
Okay. Madam Pro Tem, do you have any items?
I'm in agreement with those. Thank you.
Okay. So those items are items 4 and 5 on page 1, items 6 and 7 on page 2, and item 9 on page 3. Is there a motion for approval?
I move approval.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those items have been passed, and the consent agenda has passed. The first item is item number 8 on page 2, which is an ordinance to amend the general fund budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 by transferring $1,803,217.54 from fire capital outlay transfer to Fund 102 Capital Improvement Fund, amend the capital improvement fund for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025 by appropriating that same amount to fire station improvements. Sorry, no, it's not. It's $1,303,217.54 to fire station improvements and $500,000 to fire/BPD Oxmoor facility.
Move the item.
Second.
Okay.
Good afternoon,
Good
Council.
afternoon.
I'm Corey Moon. I serve as the Fire Chief of Birmingham Fire and Rescue Service. And the item before you is a transfer of funds to a capital account for part of our cancer risk reduction initiatives. It'll put Bay exhaust systems at 30 of our 32 fire stations. So we're moving that money into an account to continue on with the project. And the other part is to continue improvements at our new public safety facility at 34 West Oxmoor.
Okay, all right. Councilor Abbott?
Yes, I just wanted to know, these, the fire station improvements, you say it is exhaust?
Yes, ma'am. So Bay exhaust systems, each of the fire stations have, where the fire trucks back in and out, there's exhaust systems to capture that exhaust and prevent cancer from our personnel. So those systems have been out of service for several years, and we're adding new systems to all of those stations. So it'll cover all of 32 of our stations, but 2 of those stations already have systems. So this will be for the other 30 stations.
Okay, well, that was what I wanted to know, so thank you very much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Madam Pro Tem.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chief. I just had the question, of course, I'm going to ask you about the Oxmoor facility. This is just for the public safety facility. It's different than the actual station itself, because it looks, is there more than one?
That's correct. The facility that you guys approved for us and BPD that houses our logistics and some things for BPD, and also house our training staff. So we want to make some improvements to make it fully functional.
Okay, and that's the new warehouse where we had the Buffalo Run?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
thank you.
So the money, and just to kind of piggyback, because
Yes.
we presented this to the council before about the upgrades that we want to do at the facility. One of the largest expenses is making the bay door bigger for our bigger trucks to come through. And so this money would go towards that improvement for the facility, along with the other things that he noted with logistics and BPD and fire.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That's all I
Okay.
have.
I don't have any questions, okay? There's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
That item has passed. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
And Ethan, the motion and second for the consent agenda approval for the minutes at item 8 were moved by Madam Pro Tem and second by Councilor Abbott. Okay? Next item is item number 10, a resolution authorizing the mayor to execute a second amendment to the software as a service agreement with Tyler Technologies dated April 10, 2024, under which Tyler Technologies will provide additional professional services. And so this is for FY 2025 to FY 2026, an amount not to exceed $37,000.
Move the item.
Second.
Okay?
My name is Darrell Burrows. I serve the city of Birmingham as Chief Information Officer. I have with me Billy Staff as the IT Manager, that directly manage the CAD environment in 911 as well.
Okay. Would you like to come up and say any words, introduce yourself?
My name is Billy Stapp, and I'm the GIS IT manager for Birmingham 911. And this is I guess this is to actually archive the data from the first quarantine environment that we were in after the breach. So it's 4 months of data that exists in a separate quarantine than the current one that we are in, which the current one we're being moved into regular, I guess, non-quarantine environment later this month, or in May, sorry. But this is for that 4 months to actually archive that data so it's accessible.
Okay, okay. Madam Pro Tem, do you have any questions?
Yes, thank you very much. I just wanted to get a little clarity. Is this a continuation of steps we had to take because of the breach, or is this something new that would help us in the future?
So it's basically just for archive or for data search purposes. If we have to go back and pull data like we have to do for recordings and stuff like that, a lot of times the attorneys will call and want a copy of the call for service data. And so this is so that we can still access that data to be able to pull it up and send it to them.
Okay, and you say, is it a permanent archive, or is it?
It is a permanent archive.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Counselor Abbott?
Okay, so the reason I pulled this off was because I wanted to know about the quarantine part of it.
Yes,
So when it was under quarantine, was it because we thought there might be something in there that we didn't want to infect us over again, and now that
It was something that Tyler had a quarantine environment in the cloud that they placed us in, and we were required to be in that environment for 6 months before they would actually consider moving us to the regular GovCloud environment. And that was to protect them, to make sure that there wasn't anything sitting in any of the data. So we were in quarantine as of the end of March last year, and then had to move to a second quarantine environment when the police department came online with the original data from the database. So that pushed that out, and that's why we're just now moving out. But that's why there's 2 different environments, and why we're trying to keep the old data from quarantine 1, mainly because of the fact that I think it's required by the police department to keep it. Otherwise, it's a violation of some law that I was told about, but I don't know the details of it.
Okay, so when it's in quarantine, is it being watched, like cleaned or
Yes, ma'am.
looked at closely to make sure there are no
Yes,
bad
ma'am.
things in there that would reinfect us?
Correct. And it's not actually sitting on this COB's domain at all now, so it cannot infect us. So
Okay, it's in the cloud.
it's in the cloud.
So
I hope
the
it doesn't
quarantine
infect the
cloud is
cloud.
separate. Yeah, the quarantine cloud was separate from the production cloud.
Okay, and it'll stay separate.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. I feel better about that. You know, after that first experience, I know y'all experienced it more than we did, but we did too, so I don't want that again. Once is enough.
Yeah, no, we're trying to avoid any of that.
Yeah, I'm sure you are. Okay, thank you, that was all.
Okay. Do you have any? I don't have any. Well, there's been a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. The item has passed. We don't have any older new business. The next Budget and Finance Committee meeting will be on Monday, May 12th at 3:30 p.m. And that'll be our only meeting in May because, May 26th will be Memorial Day. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.